Just give me the TCG name of the guy who is not Bicho. We have them setting up here. We have them setting up here.
JBird versus Bicho. That's a good one.
JBird?
Yeah, he said.
Oh, here it is, JBird. Okay. JBird. All right. So,
I believe they're X1.
yes, they are both. They should both be X1.
Okay.
Yes, they. So these guys are, and it's 3-1. This is round 5, Boulder. So we are in round 5. These guys are both X1. The undefeated matchups right now are Dolphy, Blue Purple Croc, and a Zoro player, I believe.
We have an undefeated Zoro.
Do we? I think it's the first table. It's the guy in the brown shirt. I see what leader he's playing, but we are getting this game underway. It seems pretty interesting. It's a little control-y on the blue-purple side and very aggro. Yeah, it's Zoro, right? All right, yeah. So we have a Zoro, a blue-purple Croc, and a Dolphy are undefeateds right now, and we have one more round of Swiss after this. So
right.
What we can assume, it looks like Bicho opted to keep his hand, did not mulligan. We are looking at for what JBird is going to do. And so Blue Purple Kaido is a ramp heavy deck, and I know that Big Chris McDonald, who's another worker here at Flex Emporium, he was on this leader also where they get to ramp. So the leader says that if you KO a card, one of your opponent's cards, you ramp it down.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so, like, this is I like this build of Kaido more than purple because you don't need to rely on the island to get you into your ramps.
Something also really, really impressive about this build is that I believe it has a favorable matchup into red, even though it has one less life to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to swing a lot of the things in purple being just big threats to the red player's board, you know what I mean? Especially looking at cards like King, cracking a 3-drop and a 2-drop, I mean, cracking a Nami and a Zoro, you know what I mean? And we see a blocker on turn 1, also having access to multiple blockers.
Yes, and the blue blockers are so much better than any other blocker. Besides Queen. Queen is obviously the best blocker.
The best blocker in the game, but also having access to that.
Yes, but having access to both Queen and Boa and
So we see Sanji turn 1 from the Zoro player.
That's an interesting. I'm not huge on playing that Sanji. That Sanji is very strong to me as a counter.
And we see it come down.
Bicho opts to have the island in his deck. I'm very surprised.
Yeah,
maybe it's a lower island count.
Yeah.
But obviously seeing it turn 1 is always favorable for the whatchamacallit? For the Kaido player.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we
seeing
are going to
that early ramp, I mean, meaning so much. I mean, now going to 3 down a turn and potentially even more if we see like an ulti or something like that. I mean, we might even see a 9 or 10 drop Kaido come out like
turn 3,
up ramp to 2 or 3 turns.
Turn 2, turn 3, like that's huge. So we are watching. Okay, here comes the rush Sanji, and I'm a firm believer.
2 down on the Sanji and not on the Zoro. Interesting.
Well, the Sanji needs 2 down to get rush.
Got you.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's what it is. And then this Sanji, you take a life and you put 2 rested Don on him.
Got you.
So now he's also a threat piece. And it does let you, I guess, rush through your life, but I would hate to take any unnecessary damage. Like I want my opponent
in this matchup.
Yeah, I want my opponent to deal every point of damage to me. I do not want to be doing damage to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like a weird discrepancy to see between this game and one of Bandai's other games with Dragon Ball. Because in Dragon Ball, I mean that's an entire mechanic for the game. Is
you want to take your life because since there's no awaken condition here, right?
Yeah.
But I think what I was saying before is I think this Sanji, the rush Sanji, I think it's so overstated.
Yeah.
Especially in a leader like Zoro.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's crazy overstated.
We're seeing Kaido go in with 2 Dawn down, going in for 7K into the Sanji and getting the kill, and then Perona coming down, fixing the top deck. I mean, absolutely insane.
And it's like, and I'm surprised he kind of over comboed. I think it only needs 1 Dawn to get its effect of ramping the card. Yeah. So maybe it felt like a little bit of an over combo.
I think maybe getting the guarantee, so hitting that extra. Pineapple. Hitting that additional, tempo push with the Perona fixing the top deck and even the Dofi coming down. Look at this. 2 blockers. We are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that 7 or 8?
2, 4, 6, 8 mana.
8 Dawn.
8 mana.
8 Dawn.
8 mana turn 3. Going to 10 on turn 4. It's
absolutely
crazy.
ridiculous.
And so Big Chris was saying that this kind of deck, it's all about 9-drop Kaido.
100%.
It's all about 9-drop. It's about rush, 10k, pop board, clear board, punch.
Yeah, and 9-drop Kaido representing so much more targeted removal as well, because being able to snipe down things on the board as opposed to cracking your own, you can actually establish your board presence with a lot of blockers, so you actually have more defensive options, as opposed to the 10-drop Kaido. Even though Pure Purple Kaido has that 5 life, you can't really represent many good blockers, because you're even going to like crack your kings and things like that. But being able to keep that pressure up, keep the pressure going, and then even getting in for 10 every turn with that 9-drop, absolutely some of the most impressive stuff in the game.
All right, so we do see him play the In 2 Years, which is their top 5 searcher.
Okay.
Yeah, it's their top 5 searcher, but it does not. This is the one that doesn't do it. Nami searches spells, but this one does not search spells. It only searches mons.
Straw Hat mons.
Yeah, it only searches mons. But yeah, so he is checking his hand, and he has left the top 5 on the card. We are waiting to see what he opts to. We see what he's opting to take from this top 5 search here. And he opts to take a Nami, which is solid. Yeah, which is just gonna net him another card, and also a body that could also even be a threat piece because it's Zoro, and that's fair for some reason. Or
paying 1 to
like
dig for the Nami, but then again, also representing pressure with the King. King coming down. Apologies. The Kaido player here, Bicho, can represent some really wild stuff. Going to 10, slapping it down on the Kaido, dropping the 7-drop King, putting everything back, and then just ramping 1 off the Kaido and ramping 1 off of the.
Interesting. So, the JBird here swings for 1 5k and 1 6k swing at leader, and instead, Bicho opted to combo out of those swings and not use the 2 blockers that he had on board, which is a little weird to me. But then, JBird drops the best card in the game currently, which is 3-drop Zoro. For some reason, it's properly statted with Rush.
Yeah, of course. It's really the most fair card in the game.
Honestly, it sounds like it. And so, and that's when Bicho opts to use the blocker, and the Nami finds the second best card, or the best card in the deck, which is the 5-drop Luffy that can't be blocked for some reason.
Of course. Super fair cards, super fair in red in general. But, aside from Kid, I think Purple Kaido has one of the more favorable matchups into this. I think... So here we see the 1 Dawn on the Kaido, and then, are we going to see a big drop here?
No, it does look like he's just... Interesting that he opts to destroy the card before he does anything with the mana.
So there's the King, like I said earlier, there's the King coming down, wiping the 2, and then that will trigger the Kaido getting in play.
So I'm not sure if it does.
Well, no, because the King will shuffle back as a cost, and then Kaido will put into play, and then Onigashima.
So hear me out on this one. Hear me out on this one, right? Okay. So this is a once per turn effect, and in Dragon Ball, obviously not the same game. In Dragon Ball, when things say once per turn, they activate on first instance of activation. Okay. So he punched this, and this card KO'd. In Dragon Ball, I don't know how the ruling works in One Piece, but in Dragon Ball, that effect would have triggered, and then you would have missed it. So I'm not sure.
Should we call a judge?
Let me get Espo, because Espo is the end-all, be-all, and I want to make sure we get...
Copy!
Wait, hold on. No. Leave them for now, but...
I asked to pause play just for a second.
Okay.
Just to confirm.
Is Espo anywhere? Do I have Espo? Joe, come here. So... I don't know if you know this one. Okay, so. Okay, Espo, yes. So, I wanna say it under hush so Kaido says once per turn, when you KO an opponent's mon, you ramp a dog, right?
Exactly.
So if it says once per turn. Is it on first instance of activation? So the first time you kill something, it triggers, right? Because he killed something, then activated something that minus the Don, and then killed something else, and then ramped the Don.
It's only once per turn.
It happens on first instance, right?
Well, I need to look on that because the thing is, I don't know how this game works with activations.
Exactly,
and
right?
stuff,
It's like
because if it's not powered, it might not count. I have the rule manual pulled up. Just
yes. Can we just?
So we're gonna have a quick pause for that, but while we wait for this ruling to be resolved, we'll just go over some of them.
Like if it didn't, did he have the Don?
He did have the Don on it already.
That's why we're
thinking
exact text
yes.
of the card is when a card is KO'd, correct? So,
But I'm wondering how it rules it when you don't have Don. Can you activate Don abilities when you don't have Don?
But he did have the Don on the swing. So it triggers, and he misses it then, right?
unless the game lets you choose when to do these.
No,
then he has to.
Yes, he misses the time there. It plays like Dragon Ball, right? On first instant.
And Kaido ramps an active,
yes.
Correct? Okay. So this could be a very big mis-sequencing on Bicho.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
We'll find out. But really quick, just while we wait for a ruling from our judge, I mean, going over the matchup, it looks like, tempo seems to be in Kaido's favor. I don't even know if losing that one mana is really going to set him back too much. Just based on,
I don't think so either. But, it misses trigger. It has to miss trigger. Guppy. Does it miss trigger?
What's the question?
So Kaido, all of the Dawn is out.
Yes.
We put a Dawn on Kaido. Kaido swings into something.
Kills a character.
Kills a
does
character.
not activate.
Why does it not
Dawn
activate?
has to be there to activate the effect. It's once per turn. He can choose when to do it.
No. It's on first instance. It's on first instance of activation.
The game state will check.
It will check, and he cannot ramp it. Then he misses the timing. It's gone. Yes, because it says when an opponent's character is KO'd, this happens. So it checks it. It happened. A Mon was KO'd. It checks it, and it's gone. That's the once per turn.
Yeah.
But a Dawn's not.
It was the Don was already on him though. No, but the Don doesn't need to be in a Don deck to have that trigger. It has to be able to trigger on the first instance of
So
activation.
it triggers automatically.
I think so. Yeah.
Let's check. Yeah.
Now, here's my thing, right? It also depends on how they handle activation versus resolution, right? Because like in certain ways, it'll go to check and see that there's no Dawn, and the effect won't activate. And if it doesn't activate, the once per turn may
But it
not
does.
stick.
It met the condition of activation
No,
when
absolutely.
something. Yeah.
I don't think it checks if there is Dawn in the Dawn.
It
deck.
can't.
That's,
Yeah.
that's the issue.
What I mean
I think if
more
there's
so
not
is checking
Dawn, I
that
think the thing
skill
is,
can activate.
I think the thing is, even if the skill
Yeah,
could activate, the action just cannot be performed at all. So it's like a fail to find. I can't
Yes,
activate
but
Rhoda.
but you can't activate Rhoda if you have no target in deck.
No, you cannot.
But how do you know? It's a secret area.
Because you know your deck list. The quantity of warriors in your deck is public information.
To be fair,
The quantity of Dawn in your deck is public
to
information.
be fair, Bandai games don't operate like that. We can fail
Yes,
to find
because we can fail to
like
find in Dragon Ball.
I'm just trying to
misactivation.
kind of see if there's a world in which it kind of makes sense in one way as opposed to the other.
I could realistically see the argument either way, to be brutally honest, just depending on what we find out on how it handles activation and resolutions.
And it looks like we may be getting a ruling.
I mean, regardless, we're getting a time extension. I just want to.
Joe,
I need to check this because this is something I worry about.
So what it looks like, well, do they need? What's the exact thing that occurred?
Okay,
is
so-
it relevant right now? Or
Yes.
Yes,
it
it is.
happened.
It is on 10 mana, attach one Dawn to Kaido, swing into a tap down creature. He has
Kill
no
it.
Dawn in his Dawn deck. He kills the creature.
Does
Is
it
the
activate
Kaido-
and miss the?
Oh no, he can't activate it again. It triggers and then nothing happens.
Exactly. So he can't use it again, right? If he.
So if he plays a king afterwards, shuffles back Dawn, cracks two things.
Then he cannot
ramp.
activate, right?
So
The Kaido's once per turn.
and it has to happen on the first instance.
And then it misses. Okay, so that's what it is.
I thought you
So-
were saying he killed something.
No.
Then Don.
So what I would need you to do is I need you to
that's
go to that
different
table and
because the
tell
skill can
him
never activate
that
it.
one of
Because
those,
you
the
can't pay
Don
the
that
cost
he
of
would
having
get
a
off that
Don.
Kaido, the
It does not
untapped
get,
one,
yes.
he's not getting, and it's going back to his Don deck face down. Correct.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, so we see a misplay on the Kaido players, and I mean, very rough to see.
Don't know
Such,
what they intend with.
yeah,
He's right though.
but such a rough start for that. I mean, a mistake that hopefully he'll never make again.
But because I've done this when I'm playing against Big Chris, and this is the ruling I thought it was going with.
Espo, just for the sake of posterity, can you go over and explain that to them? All right, there's your appeal from our head judge, Espo, coming over to explain the situation.
Damn, he actually asked for appeal.
He says on the simulator it doesn't do that.
Is the simulator official?
No, is it? No, it's not run by Bandai. It's fan made. Yeah.
Unless
that
the-
doesn't
Which
seem
one?
right. What doesn't seem right, Boulder?
Wait. Which one? Are they talking about the demo one that's officially published by Bandai or Tabletop Simulator?
If anyone in the chat has some
Tabletop
insight on
Simulator
this,
is run by Bandai, but
we're
if it's
definitely down
something
to
on the
hear
Bandai
anything out.
app,
I mean, we just want to make sure that we have some clean, fair games. That's really the entirety of this, is that we just want to have some clean play.
Is there an FAQ? Because Bandai does FAQs a bunch.
They do, but this is
One
very
piece
specific interaction.
TCG. No, I feel like this is a super common
should
thing
be.
that happens in this.
It should be, because for him
Q&A.
to try it, it means he has done it. He has done it multiple
Not
times.
not basic rules. Hold on, let's see.
But
Fine
Keywords.
once. Oh, sorry, that's once per. If no. Oh, okay, so
Yeah, that
it doesn't
doesn't
tell
seem
me.
right.
It doesn't
Yeah,
tell me
like-
here.
that's what we're saying, Boulder.
Look up Kaido.
Yes, misplay is correct to me. That's what I think.
Yeah, it does look like a misplay.
I would
So what are we doing?
assume it's a misplay.
Again, because he's claiming that in the simulator it works, I wouldn't know.
Which one? That's the thing. Is he talking about the demo one that Bandai released or Tabletop Simulator? Because if he's talking about Tabletop Simulator, then he's talking about Random Simulator. Those are not run by
going to.
Bandai.
Well, I understand that. Can someone come and read this who understands the game with me, and then we can figure
All
out?
they mean.
Because as far as I know,
Here, this one. This is it. Okay. Find
activating resolution has
Kaido.
their condition check, those can
No.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he does need
Try checking once per turn.
Oh no, this is starter deck. This is starter deck. My fault. OP on one. There we go. Find Kaido.
Yeah,
Simultaneous.
determine the
Yes, it
activation, which is
does.
to crack
Kaido.
and pay
No.
all costs, which it doesn't have a cost because
he's claiming that it works too. He says
If I KO and simultaneously lose the Dom given to this leader. Okay, that's not the.
there is not. That's the thing.
Okay, so it doesn't answer it. It's. I'm looking at it. It doesn't.
there's nothing in
No,
there.
Nope.
no.
Nothing on this leader is in the FAQ.
So the ruling clearly goes based off what the rule says. So fuck that simulation shit.
Yeah.
He says he's just here to go along with it. He just doesn't want to get frustrated. He just wants to
Well, I mean,
back to Don deck.
Okay, so just take the one. Tell him to take the one active. Put the one active in.
Posted in the.
Oh, look, it ain't even. There is something for that lady. Why you just fucking lied to me? I'm looking at it right here.
No, that's if you don't have the dom.
I understand, but it's the same concept. So if you KO an opponent's character with effects such as Dom -1 and simultaneously lose a Dom card given to the consider, is this Don effect activated? Oh no, 'cause it's
no, yeah, it's not. It's not the same thing. That's what I meant.
I thought it was in general.
There you go.
Why do you do this?
I'll let you know when I'm doing it.
He missed it. Play ball. That's what we're saying.
The simulators are not official. Like, there's no official simulator for him. And like, according to the rules, it's the other way around.
Looking like a mistrigger.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
I mean,
Truly unfortunate.
yeah, that's what I would assume. It's a mistrigger here. All right, we're gonna continue with the game. Sorry, guys.
As far as the interaction
Let me
goes,
So
bring.
was the
he misses three
is the card next to Dofi? The card next to Dofi, is that
because it
currently in play, or did he tap the one to play that?
a dawn to pull from his deck.
I'm not even
Put
sure.
up King on screen.
No, it's Kaido. It's this. So this says, see, once per turn when your opponent's character is KO'd, add up to one Don card from your Don deck and set it as active. But it's a when thing. So when can miss timing? Obviously, we know that from Yu-Gi-Oh! When misses timing, but
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just like, whatever. But
I mean, so we're going to 10 here. We're seeing Kaido on tap. I mean, still having everything, but that play super well sequenced with the at least just getting the king
well,
the
no,
king
if
down.
it's mandatory because it says when your opponent's character is KO'd, and it says add up to 1 Don. That means you can add 0.
Yeah.
So,
It says add up to 1 Don, so you can add 0.
so we're seeing Rush Kaido.
You lose it, but it uses the effect. If you add 0, it uses the effect. That's what we are saying.
So we're seeing Big Kaido go in here, going in for damage, and then Leader going in for damage again. And a 6K swing here. I mean, forcing at least a 1-card pump out of hand, and there it is. Maintaining the blockers. I mean,
Maintaining 2 blockers, and now a 9-drop rush card, which is great, obviously.
yeah, absolutely. Passing to opponent on 10. I mean, even still,
Yes.
It doesn't matter what he says. I don't.
all right. So going in with the Zoro here,
Putting
blocking
1 mana on it, he blocks it with the 2-drop. Plays the 3-drop Zoro. Now it's a 6K because it's fair
Yeah.
and balanced, apparently.
Of course, with the Leader.
Yeah.
So we have 6K going face. I mean, do you take this here? I mean,
What's life? He's at 1 life? No, you never take this here. No, you
so
never
comboing
take
out, playing the boa, showing the boa here.
Is this? Oh, and is he at 0 cards in hand now? Bicho's at 0 cards.
Yeah,
And so now we're definitely seeing this Luffy come down here because,
and there it is.
but he is gonna block because there's no Dawn on the Luffy.
Taking the
he's
hit,
taking it. He's not
taking the
blocking.
hit to hand, choosing not to block.
The mic is sensitive. You don't have to speak so loud. We don't want them to hear us.
Yeah,
But yeah, so let's see what happens here going into this 9-mana turn here. Obviously putting the 1 mana on the Kaido, and
We're
now
not
that
gonna be
they're
missing it this
yeah,
time.
like he
absolutely.
has. Yes.
So I mean, tons of cards in the hand of the red player. I mean, super rough position to be in, and there.
And that's a Radical Beam, I think. Yes,
Yeah.
Radical Beam and a 2K, which does save. Yes, he is playing defense.
So saves the Luffy here. I mean,
That's a big save. That's like a super important save.
yeah, and we can already see there's a.
But it
There's
does.
another copy of why am I blanking on the name?
Rock.
There's another copy of the big rock in his hand, so that's just
Don't say
doing
that too
nothing.
loud.
Unfortunately,
That's information. And so
Kaido
he
going
is,
in,
He
fully
is
done-
yes, he is
fully
committing-
donned out, going in.
He is committing a lot of mana
And
onto
there it
this
goes.
play. And so yes, and now it triggers. So he gets the Dawn, and now he gets 5 Dawn here.
I'm actually working.
And so here we go. He has 5 mana
I like
up.
doing this.
He has 5 mana up. And I think is he passing here?
I think that's.
Oh no. He's putting. It looks like he's putting the Dawn, trying to crack the Zoro.
Sending it at
But
the
he has
Zoro.
3 cards in hand. Does he have any combo power? Because that's a
We
5 to
get-
5.
I think we can see in hand right now. Unfortunately, this is the end of the game. There's a Luffy in the opponent's hand here, and even
yeah.
playing the Dofi, I don't even think it matters. There's
No,
a 6-cost Luffy in the hand. That's
he's
going to
getting-
come down, get donned, and that's going to be the game. Even outside of that, I think just 1 hit. I mean, he only has the 1 blocker, so
And just 3 swings and 1 card in hand. Like
Yeah, just
he was
no
never
shot.
getting anywhere far.
no shot. Super unfortunate. Such a strong start for Blurple Kaido, and then just getting hosed by the lack of life, really. And there it
All
is.
right, and that's game 1.
So that's game
JBird
1.
does take game 1. Unfortunate misstep there, but I am fully confident in that ruling.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, seeing some unfortunate sequencing going into that with
No, you cannot choose when to attempt it.
with the Kaido. Super unfortunate sequencing with the Kaido, and just rough draws in general. I mean, drawing the rock, lacking the hand presence.
I know you're cool. Like, what do you want from me?
How do you?
That's what you do, man. You just show me over and
You want
over.
me to, I do not. I showed you like once.
How do
You know
you?
what? I'm gonna go show you all of my expensive.
Okay, and then I'm gonna run away with it.
How do you feel about?
It doesn't really work that well, so I don't know
yeah.
how it's gonna go.
What's up?
How do you feel about the Perona and the Kaido deck? I mean, like, definitely, obviously representing some level of consistency, but really lacking in the card advantage department. I feel like
I think that
maybe some
I think it's
draw
fine.
is missing.
I mean, blue and purple purple just doesn't have draw in general. I think guaranteeing what your next draw will be is as good as a draw card will get you. You know,
Do we know if the Kaido player is on Mellow Mellow?
definitely 100% has to be
Honey P.
Hundy P.
Hundy P. Of course.
And so I would only assume Bicho is going to opt to go first here. but we are going to see how the game 2 plays out.
All right.
And that's 4 life down. And so, you know, maybe the Zoro player was rewarded with that Sanji that took his own life so that he's able to gain power and maybe really commit to that damage. You know?
I think in a matchup like this, that kind of card really shines. I think
it's early game pressure.
You know what it is? I think that it's actually a kind of heads-up pick, especially with the Kid matchup, because Kid really doesn't want to take life from you until really later in the game. So you can actually almost look at it as replacing itself. It's a draw one. You know what I mean? So it's like, while yes, it is your life, usually in a matchup like Kid, the life doesn't matter until they just decide to blow you out and kill you. So getting that fast burn advantage, like, I'm going to take the damage either way. I'm going to use this as a tool to race you down and fill my hand. Potentially, actually, very solid. So we see Perona come down turn 1. Perona comes down turn 1. Kaido opting to go second here, looking to get the extra mana instead of the being on the play.
2 seconds.
Personally, not a
just
fan of Perona in this matchup.
I don't know. I think Perona is as good as a draw card, like a 1-drop is going to get you in this time.
I will interject here because I have an official ruling from the Bandai Judge Discord. So we are indeed correct. The auto happens once already on the first trigger, and the first time it failed to add a Dawn because he was at maximum Dawn, but it's still activated.
It does say add up to 1 Dawn, so
Yes,
you can
it says
choose
add up
0.
to 1, but it's still activated.
But it's once per turn.
And you can't activate it a second time. So because of that, it was correct that you can't ramp after you KO the second time.
All right, so just an unfortunate turn of events with sequencing, but so we see Nami Sanji here. Wow.
And for some reason, those Namis are able to be made as pressure pieces.
Absolutely.
This is game 2, yes.
Absolutely.
JBird has game 1. Yep.
Oh, is this Zoro? Oh, okay.
Correct.
Wow,
Yeah.
Zoro's a good card.
Well, there we go. So Mountain coming down. I mean, again on curve, playing rock.
Wait,
Seeing the Dawn on the Kaido going face.
Don't do anything.
But he is going 6 damage to the face, which the Zoro player does opt to take there. And so this Sanji is going to be huge early game pressure. No mana.
Yeah.
He's going to be what, a 7k? I think it's a 2/3 that gains 2k and puts 2 rested down on him.
I think rough part about the Kaido deck, and I think something that I guess this player is unfortunately neglecting is a lot of the appeals with the event cards and not hitting face. I think that you can afford to wait until the late game, keep your opponent off of their cards. The red deck trying to burn itself out very, very quickly. Even with the Sanji taking his own life, I don't think you need to get those early swings, and I think that you can actually just opt to take a pass there and even leave the 1-up and potentially threaten a 1-cost event. You know what I mean?
And now look right here, look at this. The Zoro player is at full board.
Yeah.
3 of those cards, almost all of those cards are viable threat pieces because of the Zoro leader. Like,
yeah. Everything is potentially damage, and I mean, just such a massive board. I mean, really, 10-drop Kaido can't come any sooner in this kind of scenario. Seeing
the soonest that 10-drop Kaido comes is going to be...
It's going to be next turn, and that might be a turn
Yeah.
too late, unfortunately. I mean, with a full board presence, even with the Sanji dying, even with the extra ramped Dawn, not even a thought on the Zoro player's mind. He said, you know what? I'm going to drop something with Rush next turn anyways. I don't really care. So, I mean, we see Kaido going to 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's at 9 mana with 7 available to spend. I mean, the only thing I can really see here... Oh, we see a Boa come down. Personally, I think in that position you're probably hoping for like a king, like a 7-drop king there, just to crack 2, pieces on the board. Maybe.
And that does, a 7-drop king right there does crack Zoro and Sanji.
Yeah, which would realistically be his best option. But I think setting yourself back that many Dawn. I mean, what is it? Can we pull up?
It's a -2.
Can we pull up the king on chat here?
Of course we can. King parallel. Yeah, it's a -2.
Yeah, -2 Dawn on play, just a crack. I mean, I don't even know if you mind the tempo of the -2 because you already have the 1-up for next turn. You're going to ramp that one with the Kaido.
Ooh, and the jet pistol to clear the boa.
Absolutely.
It's just going to be 1 on leader and 1 on Sanji and maybe 1 on Zoro, maybe. I'm not sure.
We might be seeing the end of the game here. It looks like 2 on the Nami, trying to put pressure. Look at the one combo
the
right
drops
there.
out of hand.
And there goes the blocker
5.
too. Not even the one that you want to combo with here.
Ooh, and he opts to block. And then here's a 6K, dropping another 2K. All right, so he's letting him combo optimally with this 2K. But now he's at 1 life.
1 life.
1 life, and
we're not seeing any no Thunder Bagwas, no Mellows. I mean, just really, really behind here. Going to 10 with the Dawn under the Kaido. Kind of need to move that back unless he intends on donning the Kaido for the turn. Which it looks like we're tapping, looks like 7 here. We might be seeing King come down.
3, it is 7, yes.
Yeah, King being such a powerhouse in this deck specifically, giving that added value of, yeah, there it is. Yep. Giving that added value of cracking a 3 and a 2, super good pressure against red, and then on top of that, triggering
your Kaido, getting your mana back.
Super good. So maybe we'll see a trade into the Nami here. Looks like it. And then, do you even swing face here? I feel like you don't want to give the cards. I feel like you don't want to give the cards. So going face here. Going face here, not feeling so hot, honestly. Not wanting to give that card advantage.
Checks, yep. And
Checks and
takes the check.
So
and
going to 10.
And this is, and the worst part is that, you know, Zoro's board is empty except for this 3-drop Nami, or 1-drop Nami that has 3K with the Zoro power. But, like, he could have easily just ripped a Luffy and just slammed it and said, eat shit, you lose.
And I mean, there's even an argument that just 1 hit, that's all he really needs is just the 1 hit. So, I mean, 6 in the Zoro. Going in, taking the Perona. All right.
Perona, interesting. Not opting to use Nami as a face-threatening piece. Very interesting.
Maybe he's got a better play for all of that Dom that he's got up right now.
And it does look like he's at 9 mana here.
With the 1 on the
With
Zoro.
1 on Zoro, yeah. So he is at 9 here.
So it's going to look like
tapping 1, playing
Uta to -1, and then like there's the jet pistol.
Now, does he opt to swing face here with leader, or does he opt to just pass?
I think with Zoro, you're going face. You were always going face.
You were always slamming this Dawn.
I mean, we're realistically just 1 poke away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
maybe he has a Zoro in hand? I'm not sure. I could only imagine if he's not slamming this Dawn on Zoro. Okay, so it's not a Zoro.
Takes the hit, I mean...
And then I think you just... Ooh, alright. In 2 years, maybe you find a Radical Beam, maybe? I
don't even think. You can't, because you have to get a character.
I don't think... Oh, yes, you have to get a character. You're right, yep, you have to get a character. So he opts for the Zoro, another rush.
So, I mean, representing lethal in the next turn, I mean, the Kaido player is going to need something absolutely insane on this turn. I mean...
I don't even think it matters. A 10-drop doesn't matter. Like, he needs, like, 2 queens right now, you know?
And that's not even feasible.
Yeah.
Maybe queen with, like, an event or 2 in hand and some combo power, but super behind here.
You can go 2 queens.
Isn't queen 6?
Queen's 5.
Queen is 5.
Yeah, you can go 2 queens.
Queen is 5, but then you can't even represent anything with the Kaido leader. And I think perhaps maybe giving too many cards.
Oh, but it looks like a 9-drop coming down. All right, 9-drop coming down, killing the blocker. Okay.
Interesting choice.
It's weird because, yeah, you don't have any extra swings here, you know? Like, you are really full committing.
And even shipping it at the Nami, even sending it... And that's the game.
And that's the scoop
And
up.
2 rocks in the hand. I mean, super rough, unfortunate. Just super, super unfortunate on the Kaido player's end.
Oh man, yeah, starting at 4 life against the Zoro, especially a Zoro that plays that Sanji, that's such early game pressure. Oh my god.
I think a really rough part of that is just I feel as though the matchup is favorable, but I think unfortunately, and not to throw any shade anywhere, I do think that this just comes down to deck building. I think that certain deck building choices, especially into this kind of metagame, to play Blurple Kaido, you have to tech the deck out perfect. You have to be on X Games mode, you know what I mean?